am so excited to share what I've been working on. I know I don't have a ton of time, but I would like to thank Professor Natalie Stevenson for getting me so passionate about edutainment, specifically in unorthodox subjects, starting in our interactive design class, and Professor Joe Firamonti for not only generally getting me so passionate about design in general, but for making this just such an amazing class and an experience for all of us. Everyone in our little thesis crew has had our struggles through this, but you were just amazing in influencing all of us through this process. So just wanted to thank you for that. And then, of course, everyone who has taken the time to come view what I'm so passionate about. It means the world. All right, getting into it. So to start off this presentation, I need to address the importance of sex education. Sex education has been one of the most taboo and controversial topics from the start. When people think sex education, their minds automatically go to the talk that likely are uncomfortable conversation parents push off until they need to. While sex education does include sexual activity, it's often forgotten that it's so much more than that. It includes an array of important subjects that children need to know from a young age for normal child development. It includes anatomy and reproductive health, gender, love and affection, relationships, body image, and so much more. Sex education should not just be the talk, but instead small, frequent, repetitive conversations starting at a young age to make children comfortable in their sexuality. The problem I'm addressing is that while parents may be aware of the importance of sex education, they often don't introduce the topic at all or avoid answering related questions, worried that they'll say the wrong thing. Therefore, children are just not being informed as they should be. And the solution that I've come up with is an edutainment application that can be the helpful tool to create this comfortable parent-child communication. As you can gather from the name, edutainment is the mix of education and entertainment. The interactive element offered by edutainment applications allows children to feel involved in the learning process while remaining engaged in the topic at hand. Edutainment apps not only create a motivating environment to learn, but also enhance children's creative thinking, allowing them to think of questions on their own. In the form of applications, edutainment has been extremely successful in teaching children. The first example here is Khan Academy Kids, a free app designed for preschool students to get individual practice with important foundational learning material. The effective learning activities paired with the appealing graphics keep students engaged and have proven to positively impact children's learning experiences. Similarly, the second example, which is Papoomba Kids, designs a developmental learning experience and prepares preschool children for STEM skills. This app is successful in over 30 countries to help children learn. After looking at a ton of edutainment applications geared towards this preschool age range, I realized that the potential for edutainment apps to teach children goes beyond just the traditional school subjects. So the app that I have come up with is called The Birds and the Bees. This is the icon that would be clicked from like the tablet. And then this is the logo. The app is designed for children spanning from ages 2 to 8. It educates them on sex education topics and creates a comfortable conversation between the parent and the child. I've mocked up what it looks like when the app is first opened. So this would be the first screen. It gives the option to sign up or sign in if they have already created an account. And then this is just the initial parents creating an account with their email. And this is so that if they get logged out, all of their information is saved. And this is just the verification and confirmation on that. It then gives a statement about the privacy policy, stating that the content of this app follows the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act that basically places parents in control over what information is collected from their young children online. It then gives the parents the option to create and confirm a password for the child lock feature of the app. Once child lock is set up, the children will only be able to access sections of the app with their parents' permission, which we'll see a little bit later. So once everything is initially set up, the app asks for the child's name, and this is the first step in setting up an account And this is kind of where the child can be a part of making some decisions. So it has them putting their first name, and then over here it asks the child's age. And the content of this app varies based on the age entered. So this is a really important section. There's a different set of videos for the different ages. So there's 2 to 4, 5 to 6, and then 7 and 8 plus. And then the child has the option to scroll through just these various bird illustration characters, which would be a part of their profile. The next screen confirms that the account has been made and gives the option to add another child. The different profiles allow siblings of different ages to learn at their own pace and to view content for their specific age group. And then this is the home screen that will now be seen anytime the app is opened. And then as you can see, another child can be added at any point. Then when Rachel's profile is clicked, this is a screen that the child will see. For context of what I've mocked up, Rachel is 2 years old, so the videos are geared for the younger age range. Since Rachel is in this younger age range, the topics don't get into anything involving puberty, sexual activity, or anything involving sensuality or pleasure. As you can see, there's a body section, which leads to privacy, body image, consent, love and affection, pregnancy, and the list continues. There is a pregnancy section, but the younger group, this would just be more of like an overview that moms are the ones to carry the babies, and it wouldn't get into anything too specific. And then as you can see, it's only once the section is unlocked that the fun colors and the bird illustrations are shown. This way, if the child is attracted to a color or a specific bird illustration, they won't be persistent about opening a section that the parent hasn't previously approved. And then this screen shows what it looks like when the parents are unlocking a section. So it then gives them an overview guide for them to read over once they put in their password. This parent's guide tells what the section includes and why the section is important. It answers any questions that the parents may have and then connects to links, outside links to learn more. Once the parent approves all of this, then the section is unlocked. And I have prepared a little animation to give you an idea of what the lesson would look like. So I'm just going to exit out of this real quick. Goes very slow. All right. And it just as a warning, it might be a bit loud. So you might want to turn your volume down a bit.
Hey there, I'm Pepper. Let's learn about your body. This is an example of a human body. Everyone's body is different, but everyone has private parts. Sometimes adults and kids feel uncomfortable talking about their private parts, so they make up silly or funny names for them, like pee-pee or vajayjay. It's important to use the right words for our private parts because they are just as amazing as our heart, lungs, or any other body part. Up here, these 2 dots are called nipples. Everyone has nipples. Down here, this is called the vulva. Some people have a vulva, and some people have a penis. These 2 private parts are used to pee or urinate. Urination is very important. It helps your body get rid of waste, stuff our body doesn't need. Now it's your turn. Which body part is this? Good job! You earned the Body Award.
Okay, so let me get back to my presentation here. All right, going slow. So that is how each section would be roughly set up. There would be a play button for them to press on once they're ready. And then the lesson will go over the key concept. So for this one, it was body. And then followed by a small assessment, which will continue to give different assessments until they get the answer correctly. They will then receive an award that's added to their profile. This award just gives them something to show for completing the section, and they can return to view any of the sections they've previously seen at any point. Since this section specifically is geared towards that 2 to 4 age range, the audio explains the whole lesson to them. The only words that are seen are in the assessment, which the parents would help with. This will initiate that initial conversation between the child and the parent because they will be working on it together. Introducing sex education at such an impressionable young age is beneficial not only for the child, but can make things more comfortable for the parents as well. This body section is particularly important because it allows the children to be informed on the correct names for their body parts in case of possible sexual abuse situations, as well as just creating a positive body image from a young age. This is all explained in the parent guide that the parents can read through for this section. Introducing this topic at the preschool age opens parent-child communication and transitions sex education from a topic that could be considered taboo into one that is able to be comfortably discussed. With the creation of an edutainment application that gives parents a tool to help teach children about the basics of their sexuality, possible public acceptance of this taboo topic could be achieved. And overall, a paradigm shift into sex education becoming a conversation every parent has with their child could be achieved. There are a number of other social and cultural issues that parents sometimes choose not to discuss to avoid possibly giving misinformation or avoiding a potentially uncomfortable conversation. And through edutainment applications, other subjects deemed as taboo can be introduced to children in a comfortable manner for parents, thus having the opportunity to not only create comfortable parent-child communication on these subjects, but public acceptance altogether. And that's what I have. That's everything.
Great. Thank you so much, Annie. So I'd like to open it up to the audience for questions and comments.
I have a comment and a suggestion for improvement. So overall, I think this is great. It's very important. Sorry, this is Chris, should have mentioned. This is, it's great to see. I think it's definitely thinking in the right area. From an app design perspective, you've hit all of the major points that need to be hit in this kind of application, including like the gamification via awards. The overall app design is good. It feels appropriate for the parent-child audience. The one thing I would consider in the future is to look at the ways like when a user first interacts with an application that they've downloaded to their device, allowing anonymous use for a sample lesson, because signups introduce friction that sometimes turns off a new user, and they might just decide, I don't feel like putting in my email. A lot of people actually do that, but that's the only thing I would suggest looking into.
Really good suggestion. Thank you for that.
Yeah, good job.
I have a question. This is Sarah Pedigo, if I'm not butting in. Thank you for your presentation. It was really good, and Lauren, yours was as well. My question is like maybe like really clumsy and just not part of what you presented, but I'm wondering if you've sort of thought through for the older age range users, like how you're going to sort of tackle LGBTQ issues, or if someone is I don't like falls outside of like a binary spectrum in terms of thinking about like body parts. So yeah, that's my very clumsy way of asking that question.
When I was even just thinking about mocking up this one for the really young one, if you noticed in my animation, I didn't use any pronouns. I just said some people have these body parts and some people have these, and I just wanted to be really careful about it. And I think that even when you can see and hear the different, I didn't put it there, but there would be sections for different subjects just like that on gender roles and talking about those specifically. So those would be just separate animations, and they would be optional based on the parents would be able to have their own guide and read through what's in this section and if it applies. So yeah, but thank you for asking that. That's really important, and that is something that I wanted to make sure was touched on in this presentation.
Quick question. First of all, good job, Annie and Lauren. I was curious a little more about your age range, how you decided to go that young. And then I know it said 8+, but it seems most focused on 2 to 8. And I am not aware personally of any apps that do target this young of an age group with this sort of topic. So I was curious in your research if you found any similar apps that are catered more to the younger audience like this.
Right. Thank you for asking that too. So I actually initially thought that this was going to be for the 8 to 12 age range, which is what I had originally made my other app that I made for you, Shark Week, that taught girls about their periods. That was for the 8 to 12. And once I started my research, it just kept getting younger and younger. And it's just all about how impressionable they are at such a young age, and just getting into like all the initial little things about sex education that need to be known before it's just about puberty and sex and all of these things that some parents may discuss with their parents or with their children, but sometimes they don't. And this is just a tool to help them. And I really didn't find any that were like this, honestly. I really wanted there to be, but there wasn't. So yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Thank you.
You didn't find any apps, but you found a lot of literature that suggested that it too is the right age. And, you know, our daughter just turned 2, and I really appreciated reading this paper. I mean, just the stats on child abuse and how talking to your kids about this at a young age reduces it was really, you know, really important. I think this could be a very powerful app. So